Yeah. Next song, number 9, Matter of Time.
The oldest song on the record, 1980, I want to say 3 or 4.
I'd be going 3 or 4 as well.
Yeah. So this is the first song that Neil and I wrote together in a downstairs room in Wavell Heights.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Style Council, and that probably shows, from the style of this. But this again came together pretty quickly. And we had recorded a version of this in the band that we were in at the time, Night Watchman, but it just weren't 100. It didn't do it justice.
No.
When we went into the studio for this, I think we both kind of decided that we loved the feel of Nicolette Larson's A Lot of Love. And that's really where we went on this song, to try and emulate that feel. It had a nice groove to it. And Cassie Marie, did such a great version on the vocals. It flows a lot better.
Yeah.
The original was a little bit more jerky, a little bit more guitar driven.
More stops.
Yeah, more stops, and whereas this, it just flows nice as that kind of pop jazz.
It took us a little while to get the feel down onto record, because we knew what we wanted, but just to get it right took a little while.
We just didn't, we just couldn't get it exactly how we wanted. And I think that there was a point where I was certainly thinking, we're not going to get this right, and it's not going to make this record. And I really wanted it to. I think we both did, because it's a song that, is, like I said, it's the first song that we wrote together, and it sort of probably holds a bit of a special place for both of us.
Definitely.
So, but I think we got as close as we would ever get to how we wanted it to be.
I wouldn't change it again. I think it's fantastic the way it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. Good rate version. Number 10, Just Think of You.
So Just Think of You is quite an old song as well. This goes back to a time probably not dissimilar to Matter of Time. It would have been in the early 80s.
Yeah, definitely.
It started life quite differently. A lot of blues stuff is generally written in major chords, and I wanted to write one in a minor chord, because I always thought, well, the minors, they're sadder. So, how do you make a blues song sadder? Well, play it in a minor key.
Yep.
And we did have a fairly good version of this recorded. It was pretty blistering, but there were some aspects to it that we just didn't work for us.
Yeah. And we no longer had the original tapes.
And we didn't have the original tape, so we couldn't take off the bits that we didn't like. But we did kind of move it from probably a traditional rock blues song to more of that shuffle feel.
Yeah, it has changed its feel.
And I think that the other thing too was that Hayden Andrews from Cheap Fakes had reached out, a few weeks before we really started the record, and inquired about the band, and I'd thrown him this thing of, we had a song on the record called Swamp Girl, which we'll talk about later, as to whether he'd like to provide vocals, and he did. As it turns out, I sent him this one as well, and he came back, and it was a very, very cool and smooth version. Cassie did some kind of gospel-y backup vocals. The only thing, in a perfect world, we would have had a 50-piece gospel choir doing the backing.
Would be nice.
But
next time.
But I was really for the world tour, obviously. But Cassie did such a fantastic version that it captured what we were trying to do anyway.
Yeah.
Jason provided the solo. He did it twice actually. His first version was a very rock version or guitar solo. And
I think he said, I don't normally play the blues.
I don't know, exactly. But then he went back and he re-recorded it, and I think one of my things was, can you make it sound like Ace Frehley? And if you listen really closely in the outro, there's a little bit of a tribute to Ace right at the end, which I was chuffed with. And there's some nice sax in there, but look, it's a very traditional blues song. But I think that the way Hayden presented it and sung it, it kind of gives it a bit more of it takes the edge off of the blues a little bit, you know, probably
It does,
almost
yeah.
borders in Mayer territory,
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
you know, doesn't thrill me, but, you know, that's how it came out, and it's
There's not much I can add to this one. It came out the way it came out, which I was very happy with.
yeah.
I think I just played the bass on it, if I remember.
I think, yeah, in the studio, I don't think we had to do too
Didn't do much more than that.
So,